All right, let's get into our quick start tutorial. So as you've been screwing around with Moto and you got all these stupid objects here that really don't help us, how do you get rid of that? Well, you could delete them all, but there's a better way. If you go up to File, you got two things you can do. You can close the scene, which is really the best way. But sometimes if things get all discombobulated, one thing I like to do is hit Reset all the way down at the bottom. And here Reset, it'll say you wanted to save changes. I'll say Don't Save. All right. Are you sure you want to restore the layout to the base version? Okay, that's what reset does. All right, so we're going to click OK, and now we've got the base version. So if we had moved panels around and things like that and really got screwed up, well, that's a good way to work. Otherwise, you could just hit Close Scene. So you're thinking, Dan, well, how can the scene get screwed up? Well, let me show you. Not to get off too much on a tangent, I've never done that before. This little dot right here in the corner, you see how the panel itself lights up orange? Well, the good thing about Moto, and this has been the way it has been designed since the version, I think 2003 was the first version, good 10 years ago, 10, 13 years ago, something like that. If you hold the control key, you can click and drag and make another panel. You can right click and detach or save the viewport or split quads or split vertically or truly just build your own interface however you want. Okay, so you could be having fun one day and you can even come in here, and if you do like that where it lights up and you grab it, you can go and say, oh, I want this viewport here. And you open this up and build a crazy looking interface that is totally custom to you however you want. Now the problem with that is that, well, okay, now I got to get some work done. So if I close scene, that's not going to do much for me. So that's where reset comes in. And we're back to normal. So keep that in mind. There's some other things up here we're going to talk about when we get to layout video. But for now, let's go ahead and make something so you can see how this thing works. So what I want to do is use one of the new tools, if not a few of them, to show you how you can create something all the way from start to finish. And we're going to come back to this later when we do our dynamics tutorial. So this is going to be a two-part tutorial. Again, so just really basic, just to get you up to speed. Those of you that know Moto, stick around. Maybe it'll be a different way of working. And if not, then you've got more later. What I want to do is create a couple of dice that we're going to roll around. All right, and we're not going to do the animation portion right now. We're just going to build them. So there's a great new tool in here. This has made me think to do this tutorial. And what it is a way that we can put round surfaces within square objects. All right, so I need just a cube. So I'm going to hold the shift key and get my little plus and click on a cube. All right, the size doesn't necessarily matter. You'll see it says cube up here. But what I want to do is actually rename this. So we're going to click on it and we'll call it dice. It should be a die, but that's all right. Now, I can't really use this the way I want. And what I just did there was Shift A to bring that to view, just so you know. And then click here to zoom out. I need some more polygons in here because if I want to create more elements within the sides of this, I can't really do it with just one polygon. All right. And we're talking about polygons. Each object here, I'll go to wireframe view, is made up of points. And those points are connected by edges. And the edges make polygons. And so if we go back to our default, there is a polygon. And with that polygon, I can select the move tool, I can bevel it, and do all kinds of things. But what if I just want to subdivide it more so I have some segments to work with? How would I do that? Well, what you're going to do is in polygon mode, not item mode, but polygon, because that's what we're working with, I want to press Shift D, and I get my subdivide polygons. Faceted, smooth, Catmull Clark, or subdivision surface subdivide. We just want faceted for the time being. It's not a round object. It's not a subdivided object, which we'll use later, and it's not going to be an object made up of more than 3 or 4 vertices, points. We just want flat. So we'll click OK, and you'll see everything divides equally. See that? So now I've got 4 polygons within each side. Shift D again, and we'll do it again. Shift D, and I think we're going to do it one more time. And now we have a cube that's made up of all different segments. Now there's multiple things we can do with this, but the reason I'm doing it is that we can now select just a certain area and work with those to make this look like a die. The other advantage of this, and taking this on a little bit of a tangent, if I wanted to use one of the other tools like bend, for instance, on a straight box, I couldn't bend it. But when it has multiple segments like this, it's able to bend. So very much like a screen door, right? Versus like a storm door. When that mesh is there made up of multiple segments like this, you can bend it around and manipulate it. Okay? If it were solid, like the very first one, it would just crack and pull and fall apart. Okay, so multiple reasons to have a subdivided mesh like this.